Hi. Before we get into the 6 steps on how to be vulnerable, it is important to understand why being vulnerable is a significant factor on the path of you becoming your best you. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this one every Wednesday. If you like this video, please be sure to push that like button, share it with a friend, and have them join us on Howell Consultations, the how-to to being true to you. By the way, have you downloaded your free positive affirmation screensaver? Click the link below for your free download and let us help you have better days every day. So, why is being vulnerable important? A lot of us are always willing to give, yet when it is time to receive, it's hard for us to accept that someone wants to be good to us or are simply expressing genuine emotion, which makes it hard for us to form true friendships and alliances because our defenses are often too high to even feel that connection. This is where vulnerability becomes a necessity for further growth. Vulnerability is not weakness, rather, it is strength. Being vulnerable is giving someone else the opportunity to love you purely. The world often overlooks that it is usually the people that give the most that are the loneliest and have the hardest time coping in social circumstances. This is why knowing how to be vulnerable is a very important factor on the path of you becoming your best you. So without further ado, here are the steps on how to be vulnerable. Step 1. Understand vulnerability. What does being vulnerable mean to you? A lot of times we hide from this word because it has connotations of weakness, submissiveness, and a natural absence of ego, which may take a jab at our pride. According to its definition, vulnerability is being susceptible to an attack or harm. It is synonymic with being in danger, in peril, in jeopardy, at risk, or simply being left unprotected or unguarded. However, and in contrast, it is important to understand that being vulnerable is not always a weakness. Rather, being and expressing your vulnerability is an act of courage. Vulnerability stands rebelliously in the face of fear, accepting the uncertainty of possible opposition or compromise. To refuse or to deny your own vulnerability is to close yourself off to life itself, and in many ways, opportunities out of fear and not out of strength. Being vulnerable is an asset, because only once you're vulnerable can the world become vulnerable to you, and only then can you truly benefit from each other in perfect harmony. To understand this and to apply this understanding is a major step forward on the path of you becoming the best version of yourself. Step 2. Lose yourself to yourself. Being vulnerable with others begins with the awareness to be vulnerable with ourselves. We often hide the things about ourselves that are most difficult for us to accept, which thus prevents us from sharing our reality with others. Losing yourself to yourself is the opposite of living in denial. It is accepting the hard truths that we hide from ourselves in fear of the change that it may cause. This means to love yourself to the extent of confronting your own ideas, because sometimes these ideas are harmful to you and to your growth. Therefore, they are harmful to those around you at some capacity. This means acknowledging that you may be wrong inside, even though you have managed to convince everyone that you are right on the outside. To do this, take time to reevaluate your thoughts that may be divisive, or thoughts that cause you to react in a very emotional way. Losing yourself to yourself is having the confidence that no matter the odds, what is truth will reign supreme, and that you're most efficient when you are living this truth, your truth. Step 3. Do not play your game. Some of us are so used to defending ourselves and hiding from being truly vulnerable that we successfully have most people believing that we are completely open and outspoken about issues and feelings that affect us. If you are this person, it is important to know that the only person that you are hurting in the long run is yourself. As said by Bob Marley, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. You cannot run away from yourself. At the crossroads, you must make a choice. Will you choose to actually become who you are? Or will you live your life as a shadow of who you believe yourself to be? Vulnerability is the key to close relationships with others and with yourself. Be sure to choose wisely. Step 4. Open up. Opening up, reciprocally, opens up the world to you. As the saying goes, as above, so it is below, as within, so without. Therefore, to gain, or to get, we must accept the idea of giving, or to lose. Life is this balance. This entails being open to the idea of criticism, as well as being open to the idea of succeeding to the highest degree. Trust that you can deal with the outcome, no matter what, because in your life, there are people that are worth the risk. Step 5. Discuss your vulnerabilities. When feeling vulnerable about certain issues, sometimes the best thing that we can do is talk to someone that we already love and trust. This is not restricted to consulting with someone about what they would do in a similar circumstance for advice, but this is just speaking about it to get it off of your chest. Speaking about things that affect us can be the very thing that relieves us of this pain or anxiety. If you have no one to speak to, at Howell Consultations, we are always willing to hear you out. Send us an email or leave a comment below about your vulnerabilities, and we will reply. Be open to discussing things about your vulnerability, because sometimes only once we hear ourselves do we realize how silly we're being about the situation. Step 6. Do not resist. Let go. Accept that you are worthy. You are worthy of genuine connection with others and of growth. You are worthy to be part of a community with the best people for you, and you being the best people for them. Vulnerability is openness to experiences, people, and uncertainty. It's terrifying at times, but brave always. So that's it, people. Those are the 6 steps on how to be vulnerable and start moving forward today. Post a comment below and let people know how being vulnerable has benefited you on your journey. Like and share this video. And please remember to subscribe to this channel. I will see you here next time on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.